In this lesson you are going to learn vocabulary for making comparisons in English.
To compare two photos you need: 1. Describe what you see in the first photo in detail. 2. Describe what you see in the second photo. 3. Say what both have in common. 4. Say what is on the first photo and not in the second photo. 5. Say what is on the second photo and not in the first photo.
To accomplish what we have just mentioned, you need some words. 1. To talk about similarities, use both. Both photos show, or on both photos you can see. 2. To talk about similarities, use similarity. One similarity is that on the first photo there is, and on the second photo there is also. 3. To talk about contrasts, use whereas on the second, you can see. 4. To talk about contrasts, use difference. One difference is that on the first photo you can see. 5. To talk about contrasts, use but on the second photo there isn't.
Both.
Ambos, ambas.
Similarity.
Similitud.
Difference.
Diferencia.
Whereas.
Mientras que.
However.
Sin embargo.
Listen to a student talking about the two photos. Which lesson does she prefer and why?
Well, both of the photos show college students doing lessons in a university. In the first photo they're in a normal classroom with a whiteboard. Whereas in the second photo they're in a laboratory. Of course, one thing that the photos have in common is that they both show lessons at school. It's interesting because in the first photo they're just listening to the teacher. However, in the second photo the students are actually doing experiments. They have liquids in bottles, and I can see a Bunsen burner in the middle of the photo. Another important difference between the photos is that the students are all listening to the teacher in the first photo. But in the second photo they're working on their own. One other similarity between the photos is that in both photos the students look interested in the lesson. Personally, I like both types of lesson because I think it's important to learn the theories in a normal classroom, but then it's good to have practical lessons where you can do real experiments to check the theories. But if I had to choose one of the two lessons, I'd prefer the second. That's because I think it's more exciting to do things instead of just listening and writing. I'd like to have a job connected with science one day, so I think it's important to have practical lessons, because they help you to get ready for working in a real laboratory one day.
Now it's your turn. Compare the next two photos. How do you think the people feel and why?
Look at photo 1 for a few seconds.
Look at photo 2 for a few seconds.
First, practice your pronunciation. Use a voice recognition software to make sure you pronounce correctly, then record yourself comparing both photos. You have to speak for at least 2 minutes. The file type must be MP3 and you have to upload it to Google Classroom.
That's it for this lesson. See you in our next hands-on the English Flipped Classroom session.